Palestine is not just a modern issue. The struggle for control of this city has been going on for over 3,000 years. About 3,300 years ago, Allah commanded Prophet Musa, Moses, peace be upon him, to free the children of Israel from the slavery of Pharaoh in Egypt. After many hardships, Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, successfully freed them from Pharaoh's rule. After that, Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, led the children of Israel near Palestine and told them to attack the city. But the children of Israel said, "You and your Lord go fight. We will not fight this battle." Because of this, Allah punished them to live in the desert for 40 years. In the first chapter of the Torah, the book of Genesis, it is clearly stated that the land of Palestine was assigned by Allah for the descendants of Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him. Because of this, Jews claim that according to this verse, only the children of Israel have the right over Jerusalem and Palestine. They say this is because they are the descendants of Prophet Isaac, peace be upon him, son of Ibrahim. However, the Torah does not say that the land is only for Ishak's descendants. Prophet Ibrahim had two sons, Ishak and Ismail. Ishak is considered the ancestor of the children of Israel, while Ismail is considered the ancestor of the Arabs. This fact is accepted not only by Muslims, but also by Jews. So according to the Torah, the land of Palestine belongs not only to Ishak's descendants, but also to the descendants of Ismail, meaning the Arabs. After Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, under the leadership of Prophet Joshua, peace be upon him, the children of Israel conquered Palestine. But after a short time, the city was lost again. For the next 300 years, they could not regain it. Then, 300 years later, under the leadership of Prophet David, peace be upon him, Jerusalem was conquered again. His son, Prophet Solomon, peace be upon him, built the first great place of worship there for Allah. After Prophet Sulaiman, the Jews ruled Palestine and Jerusalem for about 400 years. Then in Iraq, a powerful empire called Babylon rose. Its king, Nebuchadnezzar, attacked Palestine to expand his empire. He destroyed Jerusalem, killed thousands of Jews, and demolished the temple built by Prophet Sulaiman. The surviving Jews were taken as slaves to Babylon, where they lived for 70 years. 70 years later, a righteous king from Iran, Cyrus the Great, also known as Zulkarnain, conquered Babylon. He allowed the Jews to return to Palestine and provided funds to rebuild the temple. After this, the Jews ruled again for about 400 years. Then, in 70 CE, the Roman Empire attacked and captured the city. The Romans oppressed the Jews severely, killing thousands and destroying Jerusalem again. The Jews tried to resist, but had to hide in caves. The temple was never rebuilt after that. The Roman Empire ruled Palestine and Jerusalem for almost 600 years. Then they made a grave mistake. They tried to attack the rapidly spreading new religion of Islam. But Islam and the Caliphate grew quickly, defeating both the Roman and Persian empires in just a few years. Hazrat Umar ibn Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, became the most powerful ruler in the world. Eventually, the Muslims reached the gates of Jerusalem. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had already foretold that Muslims would one day conquer Jerusalem. Muslims had two choices: either destroy the city as previous rulers had done, or lay siege. After 6 months of siege, the governor of Jerusalem, Sophronius, said he would surrender the city only if the Muslim caliph himself came to make the agreement. Hazrat Umar, the most powerful ruler at that time, traveled to Jerusalem alone with one servant. Sophronius, wearing royal garments and jewelry, expected a grand king. But he and the people of Jerusalem were shocked to see the caliph walking in simple clothes, while his servant rode a camel. This was surprising because every previous conqueror had destroyed the city and filled the streets with blood. But here came the most powerful ruler without a grand army, arrogance, or show. only humility. Sophronius handed over Jerusalem to the Muslims. He insisted that Jews should not enter the city. But Hazrat Umar did not accept this condition and allowed the Jews to enter as well. Thus Jerusalem came under the control of the descendants of Prophet Ismail. For almost 350 years, Muslims, Christians, and Jews lived in peace and harmony in Jerusalem. About 350 years later, Christians from across Europe gathered armies and attacked Jerusalem again. At that time, Muslims were internally divided. Taking advantage of this, the Crusaders captured the city easily. After conquering Jerusalem, the Crusaders oppressed Muslims and Jews, killing thousands and destroying mosques and places of worship. They filled the streets with blood and even converted the Al-Aqsa mosque into a palace. Jewish women and children hid in worship places, but the Crusaders set buildings on fire and burned people alive. These events are recorded in authentic historical sources recognized by European historians. The Crusaders ruled Jerusalem for about 90 years. Then, the great Muslim ruler Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi reconquered Jerusalem. Christians feared retaliation for the killings of Muslims by the Crusaders. However, Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi followed the example of Hazrat Umar and declared general amnesty. Christians were amazed and asked why he did not take revenge. Salahuddin replied, "I am not a Christian, I am Salahuddin." He gave freedom to all religions again. The Al-Aqsa Mosque, converted into a palace by the Crusaders, was restored, and the first prayer was offered there again. Whenever kings had previously conquered Jerusalem, there was usually bloodshed and destruction. But the conquests of Hazrat Umar and Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi became examples of justice, mercy, and religious tolerance in history. After Salahuddin Ayyubi, all Abrahamic religions lived in Jerusalem peacefully for almost 800 years. About 800 years later, roughly 100 years ago, when the Ottoman Empire ruled Jerusalem, Arabs collaborated with Britain after World War I to end Ottoman rule. They asked, "Why should the Turks govern us?" Because of this nationalist movement, Palestine slipped from Muslim control. But a secret agreement between Britain and Jewish leaders had already been made. If Britain gained control of these lands, they would support the creation of a Jewish state. This was important because Jews were very powerful in business, science, medicine, banking, and other sectors in Europe. Britain wanted their political and financial support. For the past 1,800 years, Jews had no homeland. So some leaders started the Zionist movement, aiming to create a Jewish state in Palestine. They tried every possible method, including negotiations with Ottoman Sultan Abdul Hamid, but he refused. They realized that creating a Jewish state would require the end of Ottoman rule. After World War I, when the Ottoman Empire fell, Palestine came under British control. Jews began moving to Palestine under a planned strategy. They started buying land from Palestinian Muslims at high prices, as they had the financial resources. The British government supported a Jewish national homeland in the Balfour Declaration, seeking political and financial support during the World Wars. After World War II, with Hitler's persecution of Jews in Europe, more Jews moved to Palestine and tensions began to rise. The United Nations decided to divide Palestine into 3 parts: one part for a Palestinian state, one part for Israel, and Jerusalem as an international city under UN supervision with freedom for all religions. Arab countries strongly opposed this decision. Just one day after Israel's creation, Egypt, Jordan, and Syria attacked. But they were defeated, even though Israel was a new, small country. As a result of this war, Israel gained more land than the UN plan suggested. About 700,000 Arab Palestinians were displaced, changing the population balance. Later, in 1967, during the Six-Day War, Israel defeated Egypt, Jordan, and Syria, taking control of the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem.
Breaking news, Israel has launched a preemptive strike. The West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem are now under Israeli control.
Israel's land area tripled after this war. After two major defeats, Arab public opinion turned against nationalist leadership, and many started supporting Islamic political movements. Groups like Hamas emerged from this ideological background. Since 1967, the issue of West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem has remained a central and unresolved topic in international politics.